Finally, we had this big scene, and he's just fabulous. I mean, Chris is, he could read the phone book, and you just listen. He's so interesting, and he's got his own rhythms and his own cadence, and he's just so interesting to watch and to hear. So it was a real pleasure with him.
No, yeah, and I just love. I could just think of walking in that movie, delivering that Animal Planet speech in the bathroom.
Oh God. Yeah.
So good. Now, what I was going to ask is, do you have a favorite story from the set of any of your films? I know you directed Noel with Susan Sarandon, I believe, and Paul Walker. And
yeah.
So, I mean, you've directed films, you've written them, you've acted. Is there any film that kind of, stands out for you for, great experience, great stories?
Well, I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've had great experiences in a lot of my. I never really had a bad experience. I don't know why. I just get along with people. I try to make things pleasurable, and making a movie is so hard. One great story was when we did Bronx Tale. Deniro was directing that, obviously, and Bob said he didn't want to use actors. And I said, "What do you mean, Bob?" He goes, "No, he goes, it's just me, you, and Pesci. Everybody else I want to be people who never acted before. I want real new faces from the street." So we had to audition a lot of people for that, And we really used the real Eddie Mush in the movie. That was really Eddie Mush, the real one, who actually was from my neighborhood, Eddie Mush, And I was nervous because he's such a jinx, and I was afraid he was going to jinx the movie, And we had to go look for him, and we got in a car, and we drove up to OTB at that time. It was open. And we found him in front of OTB screaming and yelling at everybody. and I brought him over to the car. I said, "Look, I want you to meet Robert De Niro." He says, "You're full of shit." And I said, No, Bob's in the car. And he goes, "I'm not going over near that car." He goes, "I owe too many people money." He thought I was taking him off or something, And then finally he comes near the car, and he couldn't believe it. And De Niro says, "Listen, I want you to come down next Wednesday and read for me for this movie that we're doing." And Mush says, "What time?" And Bob says, 12 o'clock. So Mush says, "Could you make it 3? Now imagine this now. Robert De Niro's asking you to come. And he tells Robert De Niro at 3. So then, and Bob goes, "Yeah, all right, 3 o'clock's right." He goes, "Can I ask you why 3? And Mush says, "Well, I'm going to the Daily Double. I don't want to miss the Daily Double." He goes, "Fine." Pretty unique character, man.
That sounds like all of Lenny and I's friends in the city. Yeah. We're Italian. We live in Chicago. We love you. This is like, I've interviewed everybody. It feels like but for you to be on the show and for me to interview you, it's a big deal for me. I mean, it's.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, we grew up idolizing you. It was De Niro. Yeah, it was you, De Niro, and Pacino. I remember I'd see every movie that you did that came out in the 90s when I was I'm 27 now. I was 14, 15 then.
Right, yeah.
And you did a film with Nick Nolte, Mulholland Falls.
Mulholland Falls, yeah.
Yeah, Nick Nolte and you in the same movie. I'm like, those are my acting idols right there.
Well, Nick is a great actor and a great friend, and we had fun doing that movie.
Yeah, no, and I just wanted to know, so I know a lot of people in the business, and I heard a story, and I want you to tell me if this is a true story.
Sure.
I heard a guy pitched you a script while choking in Los Angeles. Is this
true? Yeah. Yeah. Well, what happened was he wasn't. What happened was he was choking on a steak, and I was a stranger, and I heard him choking while I was on the phone with my wife. And I went over to him, and I tried to. And people weren't helping him, and he was pushing people away. Then finally, I moved in, and I can't take the credit for it because I was just about to give him the Heimlich. I picked him up, and the meat spit out. So I really didn't do it. It just came out on its own. And he was gasping for air. He was literally gray. And he's going, and I said, "Sir, are you okay? Should we get an ambulance?" And he was like, And then he looked at me, and he recognized me while he's staring at me. And then he says, "Oh my God, Chazz Palminteri. Oh, wait." And he's reaching into his wallet. And I said, "What the hell is he doing?" And he takes out a card. He goes, "I have a great script. I want you to read it." And I'm going, "Sir, are you okay?" No, I'm fine. You'd be great for this movie." And I'm like, holy God.
Is that why you continue to live in New York?
If you wrote that in a movie, people would think it's crazy. But, I mean, I'm telling you, guys, that's really happened. He really did that. He just it was like so weird. He just can't. He just recognized me, and then he wanted to give me a script. It's weird.
Now, Chazz, let's talk about the restaurant. Chazz, A Bronx Original on 1415 Alisana Street, Baltimore, Maryland. www.chazzbronxoriginal.com.
Right.
Now, Chazz, Lenny and I, huge aficionados of Italian food.
Oh, sure, yes.
We're tough critics, but I'm hearing some good things about this restaurant. What were some of the challenges? What did you want to put into this restaurant menu-wise?
Right.
Why?
Well, what happened was when I was doing the show, the national tour of A Bronx Tale all over the country, I kept going, where's an Italian restaurant? And I kept going into places. And it was terrible. And just not good pizza, not good food. Now, yes, there were exceptions. Florida, I found some good Italian restaurants. Chicago, great Italian restaurants. A few places I found some good Italian restaurants. But most of the time, I went to places where, Wisconsin and just not some good Italian food. And I said, you know what? I said, I've always wanted to open up a restaurant and bring my food that I had from my neighborhood in the Bronx here, coal-fire oven pizza, handmade pasta, fresh pasta. And then I talked to the Vitalis, who have this restaurant in the Vitali brothers, who own this restaurant called Aldo's, named after their father. And it's an incredible, it was voted #1 Italian restaurant in Baltimore. And I talked to them about opening up something casual, and we both came up with this concept about opening up this restaurant where we have like the Bronx theme around it, and it looks like a subway station, and coal-fire oven, 900 degrees, real coal-fire oven, where the pizza cooks in 90 seconds, and it's crusty on the outside, chewy on the inside, fresh mozzarella, not the cheap mozzarella, really great gravy and great sauce, and we opened this thing up, and it is doing absolutely incredible. It's on Alisana Street in Baltimore, on the Harbor East, and it's doing. And we're going to open up. We'd like to open up maybe 10 of them, and I'm very, very excited. I'm really excited by it.
Yeah, you gotta bring it to Chicago then. Yeah, I heard you have a dish. I heard it was veal meatballs with sausage gravy.
Yes.
And I hear it. I have a friend in Baltimore. I told him.
Yeah. Oh, you must have, because yes, the veal meatball with the sausage gravy is
phenomenal.
You got to sign a piece of paper that you promise not to go insane after you eat it. We are not responsible for it. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, I heard that was a great dish. Lenny, you got any questions about the restaurant?
Yeah. You guys also, if you guys are in town, you got to come. I'm doing the show. Don't forget, in Atlantic City. Yeah. I'm doing the show in Atlantic City, which I open this Saturday, which is the 9th, and I go to the 22nd.
Okay. It's not till August?
No, July.
Oh, July.
It's July. Yeah, this Saturday, July 9th, I open in Atlantic City at Caesars, and I go to the 27th.
Oh, okay. So we should come check you out at your show. But then, Chazz, you got to give us a tour of the restaurant. We're pumped.
Absolutely. And if you're ever in Baltimore, please go there. Call me up ahead of time. I'll set it up for you. You guys will have a great time. Oh, yeah, we'd love to. Now, tell me, I'm very excited about, you have an upcoming project or two, and I'm buddies with Thomas Ian Nicholas, and I heard you're doing a movie with him and Scott Kahn. Is that true? Yes. Are we going to do it? They say we are, but to me, I didn't hear about the green light yet, so I'm not sure. Okay. Are you working on any projects at all? Any screenplays, anything like that? Yes, I'm working on a screenplay. I'm very excited about my new play. I just wrote a new play, and I hope it gets to Broadway. It's called Human, and I'm very, very happy. I just had a reading of it. I'm having another reading of it on Friday. And it's about just how the world has forgot to be human. That's all I could say about it, because I don't like to talk too much about it. But right. I'm very excited by that, and we'll see what happens. You were talking about Chicago had great Italian joints. Do you remember any, Chazz, that you really liked? Yes, there was a couple that I went to, but I cannot remember the names. They weren't in the city. They took me out of the city, and a few of these places are just fabulous. Yeah, we do have some small... Oh, there was a small Italian food. Really, like you never know it, like out of the city, but oh my God, just fabulous food, just terrific food. You know what
I was wondering, I'm like, Chazz, you know, I think people get this impression of Chazz as a tough guy, as a, you know, an actor's actor, but not really funny. Do you have a favorite joke, Chazz, like a joke or a dirty joke, anything?